Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let's do a quick one on hydrogen peroxide. What 35% means, and uh, this will kind of dive into what oxygenation is and the a lot of misnomers about things. It's always what I try to unveil for people, which is pieces of information that are taken to an extent and people they aren't just not quite getting it and grasping it. So hydrogen peroxide is oxygen, and the higher percentage just means there's less water in it. Means like 3% is what you find in the little brown bottles that you find in stores. 35%, it's going to be oxidizing and eating away from things. So here's how it works. We breathe oxygen. So a lot of people are on this big thing, and um, if anybody's listened to my much earlier work, I did a few things on hydrogen peroxide and different types of oxidizing substances. Because what we say, oh, we need antioxidants in our diet. And that is absolutely, completely faulty and wrong. Oxidation, oxidizing is oxygen, which is what you do when you breathe. You would never stop breathing. But there's also a point of overdoing it because you can clog things up. You can hyperventilate. You can put too much hydrogen peroxide in your body, and it would have too much of an oxidizing quality to it. But the body needs to be oxidized. We need to oxidize things in the body. Those are the things that shouldn't be in us. It's what you do when you breathe. It's why your blood changes colors. It's why we're not going to go too deep into the iron and the the iron and the what's it called, magnesium, and we're not going to get into that right here, but it's basically just this, that hydrogen peroxide used internally in small amounts is probably a good idea. I can't. It's hard to qualify some things because when you're taking hydrogen peroxide, unless you're on a fast, you won't know that's the actual cause of the event horizon of whatever occurs by consuming it. But we can make a few general, um, you know, we can kind of say, hey, I see what it's doing out here. It's eating away something. So when I consume it, it's eating away something in my body. Oh, I'm shitting more. Well, what's this coming out of my skin? Oh, it's causing an oxidation to happen. Oxidation is good. Antioxidants, unless you're very healthy, are not a great idea. I've it's the look again. Let's start here. I like to do this for people so you can understand for yourself and just not take my word for it. But if we just let's dissect. Let's start with the big culture at large. Everything out there is pretty much backwards. You're pretty much getting sold things that are, problems for your body, and then they have solutions. They're what happens is they make the marketplace. They hold both sides of it. And so when we start to look into things, what is encouraged these days? What's very popularized? And what we can see is antioxidants everywhere. To me, that's okay. Well, all right. Thanks for explaining that, antioxidants. I know now that that's probably something I should look into on the other direction. What else they sell? What's very popular? Well, meat's always been popular, so we can right away go. I think maybe we should look in the opposite direction. Veganism's very popular. I think we should look in the opposite direction. What are they hiding there? What is packaged in that? And one of the biggest things that we've always been given is pills and antioxidants. And right away I go, nope. Actually, the problem is the body is full of things that need to be oxidized, need to be removed. If you have heavy metals in the body, you want them to rust away. and to be pulled out of your body. And that's the process of getting health, is actually oxidants. But once again, but doing too much, you wouldn't want to drink 35% food grade, like a shot of it. That'd be terrible. Just like if you're not too keen on, and we'll here, let's go a little farther. What are they? Urine and aged urine. I consume aged urine now and then. Whenever I start to get into a little into poorer health because of the lifestyle that I choose to live, I immediately know how to fix that. And what do? I consume more water. Probably find myself bathing in aged urine. I might even find myself drinking aged urine because it is very high pH, very high ammonia content. And what does ammonia do? Has a very similar and here, I will even take this talk a little bit deeper here, because everybody's like, oh, acid alkaline, don't eat anything that's acid, acid's terrible, and the cancer lives in an acidic environment. These things are not true. Let's go here. Highly alkalized people and highly acid, when you get outside of the range where you should be, that's where things don't work right. And if you got really far outside of it, if you started consuming think of it this way. If you put something into an acid bath, it's going to kill it and eat it away. You put something into a strong alkaline, it's going to do the same thing. It's in the same proportions to the opposite direction, has the same quality to it. So the reason people have cancer, that they get sick, is most people are acidic, surely. But that doesn't mean to go drink alkaline water, because what the body does is it always tries to find homeostasis and balance. So when you're putting substances that are high level pH or low level pH, it has an effect of balancing the body by it's going to go ahead and eat things away, which is a part of a process, but it also can make you have you call it the Herxheimer effect, the effect of, if I start cleaning my house, it's going to look dirtier for some time. Do you see? If I put a high alkaline or high acid onto something, it's going to make a mess before I take that towel and clean it up. This is why you can use alcohol or vinegar or ammonia to clean your house, or bleach, right? These are all different things. They're all in different directions on the pH scale, but they're doing this. They're having the same purpose. It's like, look at the sine wave. It goes above and below what is in the middle, right? This is what sin is. This is to live in a vibrational world. Well, one is vibrating to the top and one's vibrating to the bottom. It's just that simple. And that's why 7 is in the middle. Why do you think the number 7 is so important? 7 days of the week, 7 on the pH, all of these fun things, right? So, antioxidants are good. Antioxidants are not necessarily good. Like, you want to oxidize. Oxygen is good. So if we know that oxygen is good, then pro-oxidants would be good. Wouldn't that make sense? What else do they say out there? Antibiotics? Why would anyone take antibiotics? Do you know what biotic means? Do you know what bio means? Bio means human. Bio is so to be anti-living. That's what it means. Anti-living. Antibiotics is anti-living. Why wouldn't you want probiotics? Oh, you can find probiotics. You know what they are? Living systems inside of vinegars and kombuchas and different in beer. These are probiotics. Pro-living systems. And so you want more living systems in you. You want to participate in the living world. And some of these living things have a habit of eating away at the death and decay in your body. And the response of your body is to actually make you look like you're sick, or you're going through a process of healing, a healing crisis. This is why the body flus itself. You don't get the flu. You don't get a cold. You don't get those things. It's your body's immune system, meaning your stomach and your bowels and your intestines, It's saying, hey, get this shit out of us, and however we have to do it, we'll do it here, and let's make sure the body, let's give this person a couple signs that, yeah, he just go back and when did you get sick? Okay, what were you eating right before that? Was your diet before that? You were serving a terrible god. You were serving a god of death, and now we're living here. We're probiotics. We're pro-living, and we're gonna go ahead, and we're also oxygenating the body, heating the body up, and going through these processes. And here's the symptoms. Here's what your eyes are getting a little puffy, and your your bones hurt a little bit, and like we're giving you signs so you can know, don't consume that. But this healing process is occurring because of probiotics, because of oxygen, because of the things that are actually healthy, that are living, that are causing a response mechanism in your body. And once you become healthy and living yourself, you need less and less of those probiotics because you're already a living system. But in the meantime, getting to that point, and I'll just give you solutions, because solutions comes from the word soul, and soul means, well, the sun means singular. It also means the bottom of your foot, the sole of your foot, down where your heel is or hell is. Your soul is in hell. Health, healing, Heliopolis. Heliopolis means the city of the sun, Helios. Soul and hell are the same thing. The soil is your soul. So you have to make this big connection between what the earth is, where we live, and the sun out there, and what those things are. They're both living biotic systems that are causing you to transmute things in yourself to a higher form. They're making you vibrate higher and more. You run rich, is what they'd say. If you were driving a car, you'd be running with more fuel. And the fuel is a living system. The fuel is gas. This is why people get gas when they eat living things. People, whenever I eat Mexican, whenever I eat salads, I get farts. Well, yeah, because it's living and it's probiotics in there. Actually, a living food system that is eating away the dead, decayed matter in your body, and it's fueling you. It's getting something out of you, and it probably doesn't feel good because you have too much shit in your body. So, hydrogen peroxide and oxidants are very good. These oxidizers, which is there, I just took in a bunch of hydrogen. I took in a bunch of oxygen. There we go. Oxygenating myself. And hydrogen peroxide is hydrogen means generator of hydro, generator of water. Okay? So hydrogen, generator of water. And this is why when we get into carbohydrate, and I can't have people got into this high protein diet, and even though they don't know what they're talking about. Carbohydrates. Break the word down. It hydrates carbon. You're a carbon-based creature, and you need carbon in you. You need hydrogen in you. Carbohydrate. Hydrate. Hydrogen. It's you're filled with water. You're a giant capacity of memory. Memory means water and light. Hydrogen. It's a generator of hydro. Generator of water. See, it's very simple, and this is why so many things are given to us in ancient languages. Here, I like playing these games. I haven't done these lately. I've just kind of talked more plainly, but people did kind of enjoy the esoteric talks and the deeper understanding. When we start to look at the packages and look at what things are called, it's always written in Latin. And it's called, Latin is a dead language, but it's not. They use it for everything. The reason it's a dead language is because they use it to fool you. If it's a dead language, why do they use it on all the scientific things and all of the pharmaceuticals? And if anybody knows the word pharmaceuticals, pharmakia, go look it up. It means poison makers. Pharmaceutical is all about poisons. But why use that word? Well, it's simple why they use that word. Because it's in Latin, and you don't know that language, so you don't know what it means. But if you did know, it's not a dead language. It's connected to death cults. And if really anybody want to get into this, the word Latin is, you can turn that into Italian. We can see a connection between Latin and Italian, and this even getting to why Latinas and Latin, like, oh, there's a lot of connections here. Let's see what we can play with for everybody. Just know that it's connected to pharmaceutical companies and drug companies, and there's even, if you really get into the movies, and why is it always the machismo, Latin, ASA? Why is it always that? Why? Because it's connected to the pharmaceutical agencies, because they're selling drugs and they're giving you allegory for something. And it's all wound up and bound up in the language, and you can see it right on the products. And so we make this easy. What we just say is this, and when if it's in a box, you probably don't want to eat it. If it's growing on a tree and has its own packaging, like, say, I don't know, maybe like a grapefruit has its own packaging. It doesn't have a label on it. You know what's inside of it. You know what's inside of it? Grapefruit. You eat it and you go, that's delicious. Do that. Eat that stuff. What else? Hydrogen peroxide. Well, what is it? Well, we know, we can look right at it. And it's full of what? Something that will help us to speed up a process. Because what I talk to people about, what I try to encourage is how can we collapse and identify the types of information, for me, that I've gotten, and give it to you in a very simple way. Not only in a simple way because I don't want to package something for you. I don't want to make a product for you and send it to you and say this is the solution. I want to say, hey, look, here's how it works, so you can just do it anytime you want. And that's why I teach magic. That's why I teach the things I teach. So all of that is all about how do you get the information so you can make the choices and decisions for yourself to speed up a process, to alchemize something, because that's what alchemy means. You're speeding up the process of something. And there's a lot of things that speed up processes. And you don't want to go too fast because you can hurt yourself. You drive your car too fast, you want to get somewhere, you might hurt yourself. Especially if it's raining, you slip off the road, boom, yeah. But so what you do is you take the things, the pieces of information, and whatever they might be, and one of them is hydrogen peroxide, one is ammonia, one is aged urine, and you take it in small quantities, but that small quantity is like a turbo booster. It's the reason you breathe at the pace you do. Maybe upgrade your breathing, even just taking a bigger breath every day. Taking a couple of those, just stopping to think and breathe deeper. Why? Because you're oxygenating your body. Now you want to take a really deep breath? Take some hydrogen peroxide. That's a deep breath. That is killing the decayed matter in your body. It's removing something. It's analogous to probiotics, living systems. So I think that's about as much as I can say on this right now. Hopefully this does you all a service, and you're welcome, Gotti. We'll talk soon. Cheers.